Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to this week's episode and cooking recipe, which is my chili non carne crossed over with mac and cheese. It's a vegetarian recipe, just so you know, guys, because I'm going to be using real cheese. I've already started browning so bear with me. So yeah, what I'm using is plant-based mince. I use the meatless farm one, but you can use any other one. But this is the one I personally use. Obviously, then I'll heat some veg oil, put it in till it's hot, add it, and then obviously just break it down, because obviously it does have a tendency to come together. So this is me just breaking it down, so it actually resembles mince somewhat. Yeah. Then obviously I've got these to add: my chili con carne seasoning, my chipotle, some peppers. I'm going to add some mac, and obviously the non-vegan cheese. Everything else apart from that cheese is all vegan, so that's the only thing that makes it a vegetarian recipe. So yeah, let me just get cracking on. As I said, the next thing I'm going to add is obviously I'm going to add my peppers, my seasoning. Actually, I'm going to add my seasoning first, then I'm going to add my peppers, and then the beans, the tomatoes, and obviously once that's all nice coming together, I'll add a spoonful of that, and then I'll show you the rest with the mac. I'll show you the process as I go along. Yeah, let's get cooking. Yeah, so while that's on, I've added the seasoning now. So while that's on doing at a low heat, I'm going to cook the peppers. Move that out the way. Yeah, so I'm going to add a yellow, an orange and a red, just for obviously a bit of colour. So yeah, let me just cut them up. Yeah, I personally like sweet pepper, but obviously it's up to everyone else's preference. Yeah, so there you go, that's all chopped up. I don't want to fry them off, you know what I mean? As you can see, the plant-based mince is starting brown, obviously with the seasoning, so I'm going to add the chopped tomatoes. The reason we're going to add the chopped tomatoes is obviously so everything doesn't burn and stick. Plant-based meat don't stick very well anyway, but yeah, I'm going to do that now. What I normally do then is I normally fill up the can with water and then add that as well. As you can see, that's what I've done there. I've added I've rinsed the can out, obviously clean it as well, and then added the water to it. I'm not in any rush to make this, you know what I mean, this is just for dinner later. So I'm going to add the kidney beans and then some chipotle paste. Right, so that's that all coming together. I'm going to add the 1 spoon of this. As I said, I added a spoon. I like my chili spicy and hot. I'm going to start the mac next. So I'm using elbow macaroni. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook my mac in with my chili. You can do it separate, which means you can part boil it till it's al dente, and then add it, and then cook it through like that. But I'm just going to cook it through in with the chili. As you can see, I've added it in. I've tried to add enough, just to obviously, so it's a good I'm trying to think of the word. I'm having trouble at the minute. So there's enough pasta to enough chili, if you know what I mean. So it's like fair evens and that. So I think that's probably used about a quarter of a packet, maybe. Obviously, pasta expands when you cook it. What I'll do is just cook that through. You have to keep stirring it, so obviously the pasta doesn't stick to the bottom. And obviously once that's done, I'll show you the next process. This is obviously adding the lovely cheese into it. Just so you know, I've had to add a bit more pasta because there just wasn't enough. So obviously I'm going to add a wee bit more water to it. And then obviously I'll taste test it. And obviously if it's lost any of its flavours or any of its oomph, as in its spiciness, I'll add a touch more of that paste just to bring it back up, because it is a chili paste, spicier. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that now on, as you can see. So nice to see he's busy while I'm busy. Right, just so you know, I did taste test it there as well once I added the water. No, it's not lost any of its kick, so that's good. It's still nice and spicy. It's the way I want it. Obviously, sometimes you can lose like the spiciness out of it by adding obviously too much water. Obviously, because you need to add more pasta and you don't want it to stick, and also you want it to cook through. Obviously, you add the water for that. Even if you cook it at a low temperature, because you have to keep stirring it, you do run the risk of the pasta sticking to the bottom of the pan, and that's what you don't want. You don't want like crusty burnt pasta. Alright guys, so yeah, for those, before I forget, for those people who don't like spicy food, obviously I recommend that you use like a mild seasoning packet, and obviously don't add the chili paste. Obviously, just so you don't have it too spicy. Some people don't like spices. Before I forget to mention that, I'm about ready now because the pasta's almost done in it. I'll show you. Yeah, there we go. It's all coming together. As you can see, it's a good consistency of the mac to the chili, and obviously because it's expanding as well, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the cheese now. Yeah, so I'm adding bits at a time, stirring it in. Yeah, so pretty much just added quite a bit, and then added this wee bit. Obviously, as I say, add water if need be. I personally use the 4 cheese blend because that's just the way I like it. As you can see, it's gone all nice and stringy, which is what you want, because obviously it's mac and cheese we're making as well. I'm going to add a touch more water because obviously, just to make sure it's cooked through for us, sorry. And it doesn't all stick to the pan because I've got it on the lowest heat, as you can see. And obviously, just to make sure all the pasta's cooked through. So I'm going to add a touch more water. To go, the touch more water added, which is just going to obviously absorb in. And that's your beef chili mac and cheese. Well, fake beef chili mac and cheese. And there you go, job's a good one.